Good evening. Welcome to ABC World News Tonight. I'm Jonathan Ford. Last night, following the Republican presidential primary debate, I spoke to Republican frontrunner Ron Rockefeller. Here's that interview. All right, Ron Rockefeller, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's a pleasure.
So obviously, we're having this conversation right after the Republican primary debate, and obviously a lot went on during that debate. But the first thing I want to ask you about, and obviously I had a lot of questions sort of set out about Jim Roberts, but we've just heard that he has dropped out of the race. So what are your initial reactions to that?
All I can say is, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. But in all seriousness, though, even though I don't agree with Jim, I will say that I respect his call. I respect that he ran. And okay, he might have been on the RNC, and he might have been also running for president at the same time. But if you think about it, it's kind of sad to see him go. But at the end of the day, what it is what it is.
Right. And so the primary debate, what would you say, the overall perception is going to be from the public of that debate?
Now, the original plan was for us to just gang up on Jim for basically trying to silence us with his RNC position. And since he dropped out, it's kind of a somber mood. But what I can say is that yes, the debate it had lots of noise. It was really loud. But however, I think I got my point across despite some microphone failures, and I most likely did the best out of the candidates on stage. That's all I have to say.
Right. Okay. So the other day, I sat down with Carlos DuPont, and we had a conversation about the Republican primary, and DuPont actually said that he wished that you would be the general election opponent to him, and he said that some of the things you have to say are actually good. However, he also mentioned that he thought that the Republican Party, quote, didn't like you, and that is why you were losing the polls at the time to Jim Roberts. So what do you have to say about that now that it's likely that you will be the general election candidate?
Well, I think the Republicans need to give me a chance, okay? They need to sit down and listen to me, because I got some great ideas to reduce the reckless spending, stop the drug cartels at the border, and overall give us a good healthcare plan that can help boost Republicans in their image. And I believe that I can win over Republicans, because I am an outsider, basically. I'm a former representative who basically left office in 2011. I never caused any of the issues we're facing now. So, I'm not a problem creator, I'm a problem solver.
Right, and so what you just mentioned there, you also mentioned that in the debate that, you haven't had as much leadership experience, which means you're not a part of the swamp as you referred to it
Right.
as. Wouldn't that be a concern for some voters that you don't have the proper experience to become the president of the United States?
Well, you have to look at what the establishment, or in this case the swamp, offered as a alternative. They basically said the same things, like saying, "Oh, we need to protect the border," even though that issue is technically solved. I mean, we had past presidents that solved it already, and they've been being basically robots, repeating the same thing over and over again. And I just think I can offer a change.
And
because
so
I am not like them.
Sorry, policy-wise, what's setting you apart from these other candidates, these swamp candidates?
I have a healthcare plan, a proper one that's public. You can go look at it. And I also have a plan to expand our immigration policy when it comes to drug cartels. I have a 2 cents plan to help reduce the reckless spending and the growth of the national debt. and I believe I am able to basically help the country out altogether as a whole.
Right, so one of those policies you just mentioned was an immigration policy to stop drug cartels. Where are those drug cartels coming from? Because they're obviously, many of them are coming from the southern border, and you just said that problem has been solved. So what's the discrepancy there? Because you're saying two different things.
Well, I mean, the past presidents have tried to solve it by adding more border security. However, the drug cartels are still a threat. And I believe that if we're being invaded by the drug cartels through the southern border, through Mexico, then this is also a job for the army. I will station army units in more military prisons across the southern border, and if possible, we will take out the drug cartels.
Right.
But however, that must be a secret. That must be a secret plan, because I'm not going to reveal it.
Right. And so you are saying that the border is an issue that needs to be talked about, despite you saying that the swamp continuing to go over that topic when it's no longer relevant, but you are saying now that it is relevant.
Well, the swamp doesn't offer anything new. They've been saying the same thing about the border, saying that we gotta secure it, even though it's already secured. But however, the main problem
you just said
border,
that it wasn't secured. That's why you want to militarize the border. So what's I'm not sure what your position is.
It's because of the threat of the drug cartels.
But wouldn't you say that there is still a threat with the drug cartels?
Yes.
So the border is not secure then?
I'm saying that.
If there's a threat from drug cartels coming through the southern border, then you're saying that it's not secure. Is that correct?
Yes.
So when you're mentioning that those swamp candidates are saying that...
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. My fault. That's on me.
All right. Well, those are all the questions I have for you. So thank you so much for coming out and doing this interview with us. I appreciate it.
You too.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
Thank you for tuning in to ABC World News Tonight. We will now send you over to ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis in Washington. From everyone here in the New York studio, good night.